and the time has come. We're leaving the Bahamas. It's bittersweet. I'm kind of sad. A huge thank you to our patrons for making this video possible.
That's a rooster there. That's a very pretty rooster. Yes! Heck yeah!
Thank you so much! Dixie go! Dixie go! Dixie go! Good girl! Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good day. I think that customs office and post office has seen better days. We have a full day of errands to start preparing to make our trek back to the United States. As we've told you guys, we are headed to Boston. We are headed to Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, all along the New England area. And we're pretty stoked about it. But we're not gonna be doing it alone. We have some folks on board with us. This is Christy and her daughter Stella. So funny enough, they have been on board with us for a few days now, and they actually live in Boston. And we told them, well guys, when you guys leave, we're going to be going back to that area. So Christy said, well, go ahead. I love sailing. I would love to just sail with you guys. So instead of spending another week in the Bahamas, we are now prepping for a passage. And she wants to buy a boat one day and take her daughter sailing. So she feels like this is just a really great opportunity for Stella to get that experience and really make sure she can do it, right? She's loving it so far.
She's loving it. So far, she's a boat kid. Let's see how long that lasts.
This kid has loved all things boating and snorkeling and diving. And we're gonna show you some of that footage later here in the video. But just wanted to introduce these guys and show you what it's like to prep for a 1,000-mile passage back to the US. While Cole and Christy are grocery shopping, I am sitting here at the front with Dixie. I don't think you can see her. It's so hot outside, and they are kind enough to let us sit inside in the AC on this nice bench. This may be one of the nicest grocery stores we've seen in the entire Bahamas, so very thankful for their kindness and letting us come inside. Our Olympic jumper dog is gonna jump up. Go, Dixie. Good girl. All right, I'll ride in the back. All right, Dixie, hold on. If any of you are ever on Turtle Key in the Abacos, highly, highly recommend shopping at Sid's grocery store. Like I mentioned, one of the nicest grocery stores we've seen in all the Bahamas, and the people were just so stinking nice, which makes you want to support places like that even more. They actually had a guy pull up with a truck that we told him that we were walking back with our groceries. I guess they felt bad for us, and now we're getting a ride back to the boat. So just moments like these that remind us how thankful we are to be on this journey and encounter such great, amazing people.
Got our groceries and we are heading out. While the girls are unloading the groceries, I'm on a mission to find an external fuel tank. Luckily, I won't have to go too far to find it. Went to the Roberts hardware store, which is right down the street here, and got some fuel treatment. So obviously we're gonna be putting fuel into our 55-gallon drum, and I wanted to be able to treat that fuel just because it's gonna have a little bit of moisture in the drum. There's probably no way of getting all of the moisture out. So got a little fuel treatment, which will certainly help. It is insanely hot. We're back with another caulk job. This time I'm gonna use some painter's tape. Hopefully it works a lot better than the dinghy. But if you were watching our Spanish Wells video where pretty much everything broke, this is the same hatch. And unfortunately, it's back on the boat and the hatch itself has been fixed, but we still have a little bit of water that's leaking in. So we're gonna get some UV 4000 out and try to caulk it all up, because the last thing we want is to be taking water over the bow if we get into any type of weather and salt water be coming and dripping in over top of our engine. So we're gonna do our best to seal it up. So I've got a little bit of saran wrap around my finger and some soapy water on the saran wrap. And I'm just making sure that this caulk is all in there. And then I'm going to pull up. It's never going to look good because obviously it's white on black anyways, but we're going to do our best to make it look nice. So when we get back to the States, we will have to replace this seal. But in the meantime, hopefully this is going to stay. Engine fluids are good on starboard engine.
It's really bad. There's all coolant. All the coolant has leaked out underneath the in the engine pan.
Jeez. What Emily's talking about is something we've been dealing with since we bought the boat a year ago. We've now had 3 Yanmar dealers work on it, and they all say they fixed it. And unfortunately, they have not. Neither have I. I've not been able to figure out. But somehow, some way, we are losing coolant in our port engine every like 20 to 30 hours or so. We have to fill the reservoir. I don't know if you can see what Emily's doing because obviously the engine room is so small and it's really just difficult to film, but she's in there with the shop vac right now and the freshwater hose, just kind of cleaning out the engine room, the bilge pump area, making sure that's all clean. And as soon as she's done with that, we'll start checking all the fluids. We already know that the coolant is low, so we'll fill up the coolant, but hopefully the oil and everything's good, but we always keep obviously extra of everything on board. We've now gone through, I just poured the last little bit. We've now gone through 1 thing of coolant since we've been in the Bahamas. Many of you guys are gearheads or diesel mechanics, and you have an idea of what could be causing our coolant to leak. Please let me know, just so that you guys know. We have checked the cap to make sure that the cap wasn't leaking under pressure. We have checked the coolant or the reservoir itself. It doesn't seem to be leaking. And what's crazy is that all of the coolant is actually collecting underneath the engine in the engine pan, as Emily mentioned. So it's definitely happening somewhere during, or in the engine itself. And my guess is it's happening under pressure. We have looked at every hose connection. In fact, the first Yanmar dealer that worked on it was like, oh yeah, it's just a hose connection, tightened up hose connections, said that that was the issue. The next Yanmar dealer said that it was the freshwater pump, that the freshwater pump was leaking. The seals were bad is what he said. Guys, this is a brand new engine. It's got 470 hours on it. So it's been leaking ever since day one. We bought the boat and that engine had just been replaced actually. So it only had 100 hours on it when we bought the boat. So yeah, it's really frustrating, and I just don't know what to do.
Have we mentioned? It is so stinking hot out here. Whew, all right, I just checked the sail drive and engine oil. Both of that looks really good. I filled up all the coolant, which Cole explained, unfortunately, is still leaking. So we've got some troubleshooting to do on both of our engines as far as the hatches are concerned when we get back, and as far as the coolant on the port engine is concerned when we get back. But for now, engines are looking all good. I'm just doing a little cleanup here in the bilges and underneath the engine here where the pan is, where the coolant has leaked, and then we're gonna be good to go. I'm gonna be ready to go for a swim. It's so hot.
Green Turtle Club, this sailing vessel adventure cruise coming into the fuel dock. We're coming through the channel now. Wanted to find out about tie-up, if we needed to provide lines or if you have lines on your fuel dock. Yeah, I'm good for now. I'm gonna put 30 gallons in this. All right. This is a very fast pump.
Funny enough, we came here last year right before we got married. We hired a speedboat for a day, center console, and came to the Green Turtle Yacht Club for lunch. And you can't really see it behind me, this yellow building, but there's a dollar bill, man, that's my country hanging out. There's a dollar bill in there somewhere with the adventure cruise on it and the day that we are going to get married. So that's pretty cool. I wonder if it's still in there. Not sure if we're gonna have time to go in there and check it out since we are here on the fuel dock, but it's cool to come back. Man, it's been a journey in the Bahamas. We just feel so fulfilled in what we've accomplished in our first year of owning the boat and first year of being cruisers. It feels really good getting ready to make this crossing back, and all the experience and nautical miles that are now under our belt. We've done over 3,000 nautical miles. I'd say we're pushing close to 3,500 nautical miles at this point, and just feels really good to be ready to go to our home country and see all that our country has to offer for the next couple of months. We are off the dock and heading to our anchorage for the night, and really everything is done as far as prep work on the boat, getting ready to leave, and now we're primarily just waiting for our weather window. We're gonna keep checking the weather.
This is one of our last times that we might be able to go spearfishing here in the Bahamas. We're gonna hopefully spend today and tomorrow spearfishing and getting the last few opportunities in this beautiful water.
Stella, are you ready to go diving? What are you excited to see today?
A shark and fish.
A shark and fish? Sorry, I asked you when you were chewing
And a
an apple.
jellyfish.
And a jellyfish? You want to see a jellyfish?
Mm-hmm.
You're not
And
scared?
I also want to see a stingray.
A stingray?
And a turtle.
All right. Are you ready to spearfish today?
I am absolutely ready to spearfish today.
Absolutely ready.
I'm getting a hogfish.
You're doing it.
Yeah, maybe mackerel.
Oh,
Now they're too fast for me.
I like it. No, you can do it.
I'm after it.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm excited.
Do it.
I know.
Sorry, Dixie. If you're liking this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode.
Now you found me, darling, you found me. I could never break away. You're my secret, I'm gonna keep it. Forever I will stay.
Go get that hog. Do your feet up. Go get him. I want him.
I want you to be my everyday.
Your first fish.
I just scared my first fish.
You straight said you were shooting a hogfish.
I did. I shot a
Always
hogfish.
be within your sight. You looked at me, looking at you, and there was nothing we could do to stop the moment from sweeping us. I think I won everything you got. You threw your line and I was caught. I'm never ever gonna give you up.
That's a prime example of why we love spearfishing right there, because we get to choose which fish we want to harvest and which one we want to let go. Unlike, you know, a lot of people, we've had a couple comments of people saying that, oh, you're robbing the reef, you're killing the reefs, you're killing everything on the reefs. And that's actually as far from the truth as possible. Spearfishing is the most sustainable type of fishing because you're not letting the fish obviously digest a hook or whatever the case may be. And you get to choose which fish you harvest. So it's one of the reasons why we absolutely love it. Let me see him. Let me see him. Pick him up. That's a big hog.
That is why you don't shoot fish that are too small, because Mother Ocean will reward you with a bigger and better fish that you can shoot.
Look at that hog. And look at that shot placement. That's perfect. Good job, babe.
Woo! Nice hoggy. 2 nice hoggies for our last spearfishing in the Bahamas.
Now you found me, darling, you found me. I could never break away. You're my secret, I'm gonna keep it. Forever I will stay.
Man, I'm gonna miss this so much when we leave the Bahamas. 6 months of being out of water. Whew. I might forget how to dive.
Three triggerfish.
Yeah, those are queen triggerfish.
Did you see a hogfish?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you having so much fun? Yep.
I cannot believe that. Look at that fish.
This hogfish is absolutely beautiful. And the reef was absolutely beautiful. But you know what was even better is the fact that we saw so many small hogfish. Like, we haven't seen a lot of small hogfish in quite some time. So this fishery here in the northern Abacus is just on fire. Like, it is great. We saw grouper, we saw snappers, we
I
saw...
saw a nice black grouper.
Yeah, that black grouper was really nice. So I'm just taking my time with this one, really trying to get all that meat.
After spearing that massive hogfish, I'm really wanting to get creative with our recipe. We've kind of been eating the same things for several months now, so I've reached out to my friend Casey over at the Fish Bish. You have to check her out on Instagram and YouTube. She and her boyfriend George are also fellow cruisers who we met a couple years ago, and she makes some incredible recipes that I've been seeing on Instagram for literally months now, but admittedly I've been too lazy to try. So today we're going to be making some honey ginger hogfish bites. They look so amazing. I'm gonna link her recipe here in the description, and up at the top you can click on that.
All right.
Oh shoot, I already started eating. It's delicious. I'm already digging into this.
Make sure to hit that subscribe and like button so you can join us next week on our passage. And I can tell you this much already, it's not gonna go as we had planned.